guys, welcome back to the channel. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know that I was super excited to return to this particular site in Shrewsbury to do some investigating, some spirit box sessions, because the history of this place is absolutely crazy. So in its 900-year-old history, the area known as Kingsland in Shrewsbury served as a number of things, including an execution site in the 1600s, then something called a pest house for plague victims, and later during a serious cholera outbreak. After this, an orphanage was built on the site in 1758, which was later converted into a workhouse, which then incorporated a lunatic asylum, and now the building is a private school. And not only that, but there are burial grounds on this site that are connected with all of this history. So we had to go and investigate this place again. We had some amazing responses come through the SBox last time we investigated the quarry, which is a park which is like a short distance away. And I knew I had to go back because things were coming through that were connected to plague, illness, death. It was really strange. So just in case you haven't seen my previous video, I'm just going to give you a quick recap, like a sort of condensed version of that video now, just so you can kind of get an idea of just how wild some of these responses were, and the fact that I later found historical and archaeological evidence that basically corresponded with it. Have a listen to this.
Dentro.
I understand that probably less than 10% of the I'm going to be quiet. I didn't know anything about the plague in Shrewsbury at the time, but when I heard the Black Sickness come through this, I knew that was connected to the plague because they used to call it the Black Death. And then sickness came through again straight afterwards, so I thought that's strange. So I looked into it, and at the time we'd not long come from an area that was above a plague pit, so I assumed perhaps that was the connection. Turns out the connection is even closer than that. So I have since discovered that not that far from the park where we were, literally just over the river, is a school, Shrewsbury School. This used to be the site of something called a pest house back in the 1600s. Now, a pest house is not the place that the town puts all the local pests, though I think that would be a good idea. Can we make that a thing? No, what it actually comes from the word pestilence, which means disease, like infectious diseases. So if ever there was an outbreak of something really serious, like plague, everybody would be quarantined basically, and many people would have died there. And it turns out there's actually a burial ground on that site. So yeah, I'm going to show you this map now so you can get an idea of where we were and where these burial grounds are, because it does get even more interesting. Like there's layers to this, bear with me. But here's the map that I've done, and so this is again just what I've been able to kind of piece together from things I found out online. I'll go into that in a minute. The little pink circle at the top is where we were sitting. The red circle is the rough area where bones have been found. I'll go into that. And the yellow circle is where the pest house burial ground is recorded as being. After that, in the sort of the 1700s, they built a workhouse on the site. So workhouses were pretty unpleasant places. They were basically used for people who were unable to support themselves in society, and yeah, people had to work really hard from 6 AM until 6 PM, and the treatment of the people there was deliberately harsh to deter people from relying on them. So I don't know why this place isn't like an absolute hotspot for ghosts. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I definitely want to go back there. I will be going back there this coming Easter holiday with my daughter, and to do a specific investigation around this site because there is so much history here. I thought we just got to go back and see what we can find. So yeah, I knew we had to go back to this Kingsland site and do some more investigating. It's easily accessible from the quarry over a bridge, and then there's a footpath. So we managed to get ourselves over there, and it was nice and quiet as well. So we had a good chance to do 2 spirit box sessions. Sorry for the noise out here. I don't know what's going on out there. It's not paranormal. just people being noisy. But yeah, speaking of which, it was a really busy day when we went to the quarry, but we did manage to get some quiet time to do some spirit box sessions, and what came through was really interesting. As always, I record directly onto the SD card in the SBox, so I subtitle it in the video so you can hear how it's kind of interacting with me and what I'm asking, and then I'll play you the SD card file later so you can actually hear so much clearer what's being said on there. And I wish more investigators would do this actually, because you hear so much more that way when it's directly from the file. I think the SBox is the only spirit box that kind of has that like internal recording capacity, but I think it does make all the difference. There is some stuff that's faint, but absolutely loads was coming through, and it was mostly quite clear. There was also some like historical phrasing that comes through, so I'll sort of explain that afterwards. But yeah, as always, wear headphones and have it at a decent volume, and you should be able to hear it clearly. So yeah, we were super lucky with the weather as well. It was the warmest day of the year, and yeah, this is what we got. Okay, so we are at the quarry again today. That's St. Chad's. This is my daughter. Hello. And as you can see, it's a nice sunny day, lots of people around. And yeah, we're gonna have a little walk down that way and see what we can see. We're gonna have any ghosts, but we have found a ghost train.
Ghost train!
This is Hercules, which is the little statue here. They've protected his modesty there. Amazingly, we have found a bench, and there's not very many benches around, but so we've been really lucky to just find this bench. And that up there is the old workhouse, and that's the boathouse, and along here somewhere is where the bones were found. So we thought this might be as good a place as any to try and do a little investigation and see what we can find. So what should we start with? It's a bit busy. It's very busy to do an SBox. Maybe we can try the K2 or something.
Yeah, I man the K2.
Okay. So
K2 is mine.
alright. You hold that.
Alright. Wait, is it on?
Yeah, I'll just put it on.
Okay.
But you'll see it if it flashes. Just hold it up.
Wait.
That's it. So if there's spirits here, they can affect that and try to make it flash. And then I wouldn't do that just in case it affects it in some way. But something I also...
it just flashed like really hard to the red.
Oh.
To the red.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
It flashed right to the red.
Okay. Right. This thing never goes off, so I was just like, yeah, okay. The K2, we probably won't get anything, but if there are any spirits here, you can flash that and let us... I can see it flashing.
It flashed really hard all the way to the red.
So there's some spirits here that want to talk.
Hopefully you got that on camera.
I don't know if I did. I think I tilted away a bit.
Dang it.
It's not my phone, because otherwise that would set it off.
Yeah.
So
And
we are quite away from anything here, but...
Alright, can you just do that again?
1, 2, 3.
Can you just do that again to make sure it wasn't
So we'd like to talk to some spirits of the workhouse, spirits of the pest house that used to be here.
people whose bones were found?
Yeah.
Please?
Interesting.
But that flashed really hard.
Wow, I'll be so annoyed if I miss. I believe you.
Red.
I believe you. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I just turned away and missed that, because I thought, yeah, we probably won't get anything. I'm just trying to I'm looking at this, but I'm trying to grab the recorder because I want to test out my...
I can always record.
No,
it just flashed to the yellow. Flashed to the yellow. Yeah,
okay.
See?
So I have my...
I can record it, I suppose.
No, you're okay.
And it flashed it again.
So I've got my record... Oh, I can see it now, yeah.
Yeah, please do it again. Oh,
well,
yep,
wow.
to the red.
Okay. Like, there's nobody around us, really. There's people coming.
And it isn't me talking, because it just went off without me talking. Ready?
Okay, that's interesting. Right, so I'm going to do a quick... I know it's like a lot of noise contamination here, but they can talk to us through this. Okay.
So I don't know if that will have gotten anything, but I'll play that when I get back home. And see if we can get anything from that.
You know, I'll record it just so that it doesn't miss anything.
Okay. Oh, there was something there.
Yeah, it's going off.
I wouldn't hold it too near to it just in case anything from my phone does affect it. But it doesn't really, because I've tested it out.
We just want to see you flash that maybe
We're
one more
interested in
time.
the bones. Oh, okay.
Thank
That's
you.
really flashing.
Thank you.
Are they your bones? Would you like to talk to us? We have a device. Let me just move that away, see what happens if you move it away. Is that still flashing? So I kind of want to keep this at a bit of a distance from it.
Is it still flashing? And then if I bring it nearer.
It does a little bit, so maybe it's my phone that's setting it off. Yeah, you can test it out. I don't actually have my phone on airplane mode, but then it's not doing it now, so it is a bit. Okay, it's confusing.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
We might go now. So
I think if we go somewhere a bit more private. see
if you want to do any more flashes, you can do it now. This is your last chance.
It's a bit of a public place here to kind of do any SBoxing. There's little quiet moments, but I think we're better off crossing over to the Kingsland area and trying to follow one of the paths there, see what we can get. Boat, and here's the bridge. So this is the bridge. Let's have a look. It's a bit windy now.
I need to be careful when I look over because my glasses can
Yeah, we don't want to
fall
lose
off.
them.
So I'm just gonna go like this.
We don't want to lose them. We've got this side. Oh, it's a bouncy bridge. It's one of the bouncy ones. I am wobbling worryingly. Okay. Oh god. Okay, we just want a really quick SBox session because there's no one around. And okay, I'm just going to turn this up a little bit so you can hear it. Okay, here you can talk here. Let's go to the workhouse here. Let's go to the test house here. Whose bones are buried or found here? The exit point here. Tell us about the workhouse, what the conditions like. Are you at peace now? It's coming through. Any messages for the living? Let's go towards this place. Can you tell me the names of the spirits that hold this place? Anything else you want to say before I go? Thank you for talking to me. I hope you're at peace. Oh my gosh, there was so much coming through that.
Yeah,
There
I
was
could
so
hear.
much coming through. Oh, we were lucky to get a nice quiet stretch there to do that.
Yeah.
Let's go see how close we can get to this old workhouse building. We won't be able to go in it because it's a functional school and it's currently the Easter holidays. But it's up here, so let's see how close we can get. So we're not exactly sure of the location of the burials, or where the bones, specifically where the slippage occurred and the bones were found, but we think it's around here. It's sort of around this area. That's the boathouse, that's the school, the old workhouse. So somewhere along here in 1960, bones were found.
I do wonder if there's still bones that haven't been found and are like still.
Well, most likely. I mean, with the history of this site, it wouldn't be at all surprising, would it? So we have just got an amazing spot. The school, which is the old workhouse, is literally just up there. There's not many people coming along on the path. I might wait until those people pass, actually. And we have a great spot. This is Kingsland. This is the area where the bones are supposed to be. So, we should get some interesting responses here. My daughter's got the K2, trying to bash it about because that'll set it off.
It might have been your phone, but as soon as you pointed it to it, it just flashed on that.
Tilted this way a little bit so we can see.
Like
there we go.
Oh, that just flashed again.
Okay, if there's any spirits here.
Alright, I'm keeping this very still.
Any spirits here?
I'm not going to talk in case there's vibrations.
Flash that to let us know you're here. We just had loads coming through on the SBox. Absolutely loads. And and if you want to say hello, you can affect the electromagnetic field around that. Now, we are nowhere near any other people or mobile phones or anything like that, so
and nobody around
here. Might have been mobile phones before,
but there's nobody around here with their phones.
Yeah, and mine's at a good distance, so it's not mine.
Please,
Oh, we'll do another SBox session. Hang on, tell me if it flashes. I'm gonna have to. Hello again. That's where the bones are found. What can you tell me about this area? What it used to be for?
Nice. Like great.
Is it haunted?
Destroyed.
Eventually, the doctor. But they used to execute people here. Can you affect the K2 or is it difficult? What was your name?
Oh, yeah.
I think it said I can. We'll leave it at that. Well, that was interesting. Again, absolutely loads of responses coming through, so yeah.
I think it still hasn't gone off.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting much activity from here, are we? But we'll...
Maybe if I go a bit further down there.
No, I think it may well be mobile phones that have been setting that off. I don't think that's going to do any difference. That's not going to do anything. Okay, I think we'll leave it at this. And yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Any spirits here? Last chance. If you could flash this, we would appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All right. Well, there we go.
That's a flying duck.
Oh, I think that's a goose. That's a goose. That's a big duck otherwise.
Really? That looked like a duck.
Well, that was a nice little quiet stretch we had then. Suddenly there's loads of people here now, so... Okay, I think we're done. I think we've got everything we needed to get. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So yeah, there was lots of interesting and relevant stuff that was coming through both of those SBox sessions. And before I play you the SD card file, I just want to kind of analyse some of that and what we got. I was, intrigued initially by the mention of vegetables in particular. I thought that was quite strange to get through the spirit box. We had, can I have that potato, had a carrot, something about a tomato being a bean. And I found out they did actually have a veg garden on this site when it was a workhouse. So yeah, I did some digging, if you'll excuse the pun, and I found this map, which sort of explains it better, where we were sitting. It shows you how close we were. The purple circle is us, where we were sitting, and the green circle is where they would have cultivated their own food. So this would have been one of the activities that the people at the workhouse were put to work on. They would have been growing their own veg and being self-sufficient and things like that. And yeah, they would probably have talked about that amongst themselves, and would probably have been quite hungry a lot of the time as well, for considering how little they were fed and how hard they had to work. What's also cool is that I actually managed to find a copy of the actual menu from this particular workhouse, and yeah, as you can see, it's quite sort of basic fare. Now there's a bit here I initially read as Garden Fluff, and I was like, what the heck is Garden Fluff? Like, do I want to know? But no, it turns out that they had like different fonts back then, so that the F is actually, what looks like an F is actually an S, so it says Garden Stuff, which makes all the difference. Basically that would have been vegetables, so yeah, when they say meat, potatoes, garden stuff, it means whatever veg was available that day. So they were growing and eating things from the garden on site, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, they did actually have a farm on site, so perhaps that's what Tether Him could be related to. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments below about all of this. And yeah, the spirits did also seem to confirm the area where the bones were found in 1960, so there's actual archaeological evidence of this. And I looked at some maps and did some research online and managed to kind of narrow the area down even further, and it turns out it was pretty much in the area where we were sitting, so that's kind of interesting, particularly when the spirits, when it came through the spirit box saying she's right twice when I'd been talking about that, and bodies beside. So yeah, there's the map again. You can kind of see the red area is where the bones were found, and the purple circle is where we were sitting. I also thought it was interesting how they mentioned like murder and I didn't do it and things like that when I was asking about the executions. So maybe that was from that time. The executions would have happened there in the 1600s because it was over the river and it was like outside of the town, so they were taken there to be executed and very likely buried there. So could that be where the bones are from? The archaeological records don't seem to know. Like, they say it's kind of assumed it was from the pest house, so the plague and cholera victims maybe, but it's in kind of a strange place in relation to the burial grounds, which are like up on the top. So it could be an execution victim from the 1600s, and certainly that kind of thing did seem to be coming through the box. Have a listen to the SD card file and let me know what you think. Something else I want to talk about as well is accents and phrasing. I tend to find this as well with the SBox. When you're in a certain place, the accents and the type of language that comes through will often correspond to the era of that place. So there was a lot of sort of like lower class accents coming through, like dropping the H off here. A woman said I'm here at one point, and something else that came through that I thought was really interesting, because people don't say this anymore. I'd asked, are you at peace, and it said nam, and in the olden days they would say yes ma'am or no ma'am, and it would often be dropped at like apostrophe M. I first came across this when like reading old books to my daughter, and I was thinking, how on earth do you pronounce that? And apparently it was a very common turn of phrase then. You never hear it anymore because nobody's addressing their superiors like that anymore, because we don't have that kind of system anymore, thankfully. But yeah, so maybe that's how they would have spoken, presumably in the workhouse, to people. So I thought that was really interesting. And also how it's often gender specific as well. I'm often referred to in female terms, like she, her, things like that. That happens a lot as well. And yeah, I'd asked them a question about like what were the conditions like in the workhouse, and it replied slavery. And I thought, is it trying to say slavery? Like, that's a very odd pronunciation. So I asked ChatGPT, would they have said that back then, thinking it would probably say no. Apparently yes, it's very likely that they would have pronounced things differently like that, so that kind of surprised me, but I couldn't really think of anything else that could be. So yeah, I'm very sad if so that they considered the conditions to be slavery, but probably did feel like that. They had to work from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night, and it was deliberately designed to be harsh to deter people, even though most of the men there were probably just very vulnerable people that needed help and support. So it's really sad, and a lot of sad stuff I think was coming through the box. So yeah, I'm happy with those 2 sessions. I think a lot of the stuff coming through seemed mostly sort of from the workhouse era and maybe the executions. At the end it said something about like illness. I'm poorly, my family and friends, and I suppose in the days of the pest house, whole families, whole groups of people would have ended up in these places because they were all infected with the same contagious disease. So that came through. It's faint, but it's clear enough to hear it quite distinctly. Sorry about all this noise. I don't know what's going on out there. They're like redoing the pavement or something. I have no idea. Anyway, I shall continue. So yeah, just to conclude, I think Kingsland is a fascinating place, and I'm definitely hoping to go back there at some point. Like, there is so much history there. It's definitely worth a revisit, I think. Yeah, there's been so much suffering and death there over the years. And yet now it's this sort of prestigious private school, and it's kind of an interesting contrast how it sort of swung from like the extreme kind of underprivilege of workhouses and pest houses to like the sort of extreme privilege today where you've got people paying tens of thousands of pounds to send their kids there. So I just thought that's kind of an interesting contrast, and just kind of goes to show how things can turn around. Well, let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about the K2 activity as well. That was kind of strange. But yeah, here's the SD card files. Have a listen to these, and then you can hear them much more clearly in this.
Right, you can. Oh, bad Kevin, is it highlight? Children, I retired. Like great. Which because of
this investigation, and I think it's nice to kind of go somewhere unexpected like a park to do paranormal investigation. Don't get me wrong, I love a good spooky, creepy, haunted house video. But ghost investigations, they don't have to be dark and creepy and things like that. They're enjoyable, but I think it would be great if we got to a place where like spirit boxes were just normal, they were just commonplace, and people could just go for a walk in the park with their kids, talk to some spirits and find out some things. Who knows, maybe murder cases could be solved with spirit boxes. Who knows what the possibilities are. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. It was a fun day out, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this one. Love and light to you all. Stay curious. Bye.